Music, honey.
Oh! Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chaga and Chat.
Welcome to another Chaga and Chat. I'm Dan.
And I'm Kasia.
And this evening we're talking about a wonderful book that was written by a beautiful author, one very close to me. It's Driver's Seat, a time-traveling manual, and just a fantastic read, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. Yes. It was written by somebody by the name of Kasia Kaminsky.
Yes, that was me. And we also have a really wonderful guest. Her name is Amanda. Welcome, Amanda.
Amanda Hawley of Pixie, Whisp Jewelry.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
So glad to have you on with us tonight.
Yeah. And Amanda's here with us today.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're
it's
more
wonderful,
than welcome. It's
wonderful. It's wonderful to have you. And like I was just saying, Amanda is a long-standing friend of ours. She actually went through the feeling path experience with us as well. And it's been an absolute treasure just knowing her.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And
you guys too.
we love you. Of course we do. Yes, it's been quite a journey with Amanda and with Kasia and myself as we've been going through this process. One of the things, we run this program called the Feeling Path Illuminated, and I guess the most interesting thing about the Feeling Path Illuminated is it teaches people how to feel again. And we were just talking earlier today about, here we are in this wonderful world of ours, and we're trying to think our way through it, and we're trying to solve the problems we've created in our lives with the very brain that created the problems. And this is not a thinking element that we're in, it's a feeling element. So absolutely. Feeling your way into situations, and how do we feel our way into situations? We feel our way into situations by releasing all the emotional events that have clouded our own inner guidance, that have us giving off all the wrong emotions. And by clearing that up, now we're able to use our inner guidance to guide us in the direction of those very things that we want more of: more love, more happiness, more kindness, and all that. So anyway, I digress.
No, that was wonderful.
But I get very excited explaining it to people.
Well, absolutely. And it's right on point, because right now we're all actively in this energy together, and we're all feeling so much. And one of the reasons that I actually wrote Driver's Seat was to give people a means to maneuver through this energy, something that was both fun and accessible, and something that made you feel like you wanted to keep it along with you for the ride. So Amanda, would you like to share with us how we first came to meet?
Yeah. So I met Danny and Kasia at a holistic fair in Waterloo. And I had just decided to kind of go out for the day. I wanted to get out of my house. I wasn't feeling the best, but one of my friends had advised that I go to this holistic fair, and that was where I had met both of you. And I had walked in the door, and Kasia had pulled me over to the table. We started chatting, and I wasn't leaving that table. So I got to keep chatting with them, and it was amazing. And that's when I first got introduced to Driver's Seat.
Oh yes. Wonderful. And we remember the moment too, because it was a big moment for us too, because when you walked up to the table, because it's just always, it shows us how truly tangible and real our energy is. Because when Amanda walked up to our table, she brought with her just this big, amazing poof of energy. And we knew in that moment, we absolutely were going to be working with her. There was no question. Yeah. It didn't matter what, you were going to come around and you're going to sit down, because it was just, it was clandestine. It was meant to be.
Most definitely. Yeah. Yes, you have a wonderful way of captivating a room, Amanda, whenever you walk in with your energy. It's such a beautiful, you are such a beautiful person to feel. It's remarkable, and well, we're both grateful to have you in our lives. There's absolutely no doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So share with us the first time that you actually came across the book, and how you felt.
Yeah. So the first time I had come across Driver's Seat, it was at this holistic fair. And it started by Danny saying, "Do you want to try something interesting?" And so I opened up the book, And I don't remember what message I got, but I remember it being extremely relevant, and you could feel different emotions coming through from what I had read. And I remember thinking, that was weird. Okay, maybe that was a little accurate. And so I tried it again. I opened the book again and again got a very wonderful, beautiful message that was so relevant to what I was feeling at the time. And I knew I had to get the book, so I did. And at first, when I started using it, it was more of a story, following along the story of it, because as Kasia had told me, you can read the book from front to back, back to front, open it up, get a message, whatever you'd like to do. So I started reading it just from beginning to end, and then I kind of started playing around more with opening it up and finding different messages. So that's kind of how I started using it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, that leads to another great question. How is Driver's Seat different from other books?
Yeah, so it's absolutely one of a kind book. It is very much a living piece of energy. It's wonderful because it's constantly working with you in any moment in time. It's always, as I had said before, it always gives you the perfect message at the perfect time. And because you can read it from front to back or back to middle and then go front, it doesn't matter. It's just always going to make sense. And that was something that was very different. And just the energy that you get from this book is amazing. You can feel all the love and all of the beautiful, wonderful things that you put into it.
So you've been reading Driver's Seat and having a relationship now with it for about a year and a half? Is that about how long?
Yeah, it's been about a year and a half now.
Wonderful. Do you want to ask the next question?
Well, I just wanted to point out that like Driver's Seat is not available through regular book channels, and that we make sure that we take this around to shows with us. We always carrying copies with us all the time, and we make it available on our website at GiveUpPain.com, so that each book somebody gets is always personally autographed by Kasia, which we think is important.
Absolutely.
And it also helps us to put that, because we realize these books, because they're going to be companion books with people, they're the types of things that people want to carry with them. So we want to make sure that there's lots of good energy in there for them, and not handled by people that maybe not having such a great day. We want to make sure that the energy that's put into each one of these books before it's sent out to somebody is special and loving and kind and caring, and compassionate. So we always want to make sure.
I make sure that each book is signed individually for the person specifically. So I channel the message for them uniquely.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
Amanda, just for another, how has your relationship with Driver's Seat changed over time? So you said when you started reading it, you'd read it in any direction, but how has it changed over time as you've progressed through this past year and a half with it?
The feeling of the book has definitely changed. As I had said, I had started using Driver's Seat as a comfort piece, as a way to connect with Kasia and Danny. And that's mainly how I started using it. I just wanted to really see if I could find that connection piece and if that was something I could actually feel. And I would ask random questions, or I would just open it up and I would get messages that way. And then I started playing around with it a little bit more. In about 8 months of having Driver's Seat, I actually took it to Greece. And that's when things really started to shift with Driver's Seat in me, because it became a lot more personal. So whenever I was reaching into Driver's Seat for that message, it felt more connected, and it was a more internal connection as opposed to I'm connecting with something that Kasia, you've written. And that was definitely a really cool experience. And so I wanted to keep kind of playing around with it and see. So while I was in Greece, I would just ask a random question. Should I go this way, or whichever thing came to mind, just a simple question, and I would open driver's seat and I would get a very literal answer. And it wouldn't seem like that would make sense. So again, I kept kind of testing it out, and it kept happening the entire time I was there. So that was really cool because it allowed me to feel my own energy coming back through the book as well, and in a much stronger capacity. So that was really
remarkable.
Yeah.
That's remarkable.
That's so much fun to hear that kind of feedback. It's
definitely.
So much fun to see.
It's kind of like you were traveling with a friend. So it's kind of like as you were explaining the story there, it sounds like you were traveling with a friend, like a companion. So
yes,
and
that's exactly what the intention of driver's seat was, to ultimately create that ongoing relationship.
As your energy melds and matches into it,
Absolutely.
You start drawing out information. It starts giving you more defined questions and statements and answers to your questions, and just it seems to nail you in the heat of the day, or whatever it seems like, whatever you're going through. It always seems to just kind of go, oh yeah, well that makes sense. Yes, that's exactly how I was feeling in that moment. And then we always have an opportunity then, don't we? And it's just, so
yes. So okay, but I want to ask one more thing. So taking that forward, how do you find that you use relationship today? Because that's a ongoing long relationship, and as in all relationships, is that shifting from one phase into another.
Yeah, driver's seat has become a lot more personal for me. Again, when I had started, I had used it very much as a connection with you both, and now I still get that as well. But it also feels more just connected to myself, and I'm getting so many more direct answers and direct emotions. So in the beginning, when I would open driver's seat, sometimes I would think, okay, yeah, that's really relevant, but I don't quite understand. Whereas now I'm like, yep, that makes sense. That's exactly in line with what's happening right now. So it gives me more of a clear picture as well with how I'm feeling. It's a great mirror. It's a very, very, very beautiful tool to have.
That's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful. And it's so fun to hear you talk about those mirror qualities in there, and the fact that you can always be bouncing off the book to kind of check yourself and see where you are in your own evolution. That's wonderful. So the question that Danny wanted to ask, and it's a good one, because it kind of ties everything together, because the book is a manual. It is designed to also help us along and to actually teach us certain things. So as much as it is a novel that's fun and just something that's enjoyable, that is designed also to give you something. It offers more than just entertainment. So how has driver's seat helped you to tap and release? I think most of our friends know that we are advocates of TRT, tapping and release technique. We love it.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's absolutely helped me with tapping. If I have some stuff that's coming up that I don't really know how I'm feeling or what I'm feeling, I can turn to driver's seat and open it up. And I generally get a pretty clear picture of where I'm at. And even if I don't quite understand still, I can use the words in the book to help me kind of tap and release whatever it is, because whatever reason I open to that page, so it's got to have some resonance there as well. So I use it a lot that way.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So if I may, because before we came on here tonight, we had a couple of minutes there. And you did a shout out to a particular page, and do you want to just kind of explain to people that maybe you weren't having the best of days and just what happened there, and then kind of lead into your page number? Would that be all right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was not having the best day today and whatnot. So I was kind of holding on a driver's seat, kind of feeling the energy in it. And then I opened it up to page 133, and the words on it were extremely relevant, very, very relevant. And a perfect example of how direct answers I'm getting about things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So would you like to share the words? Would you like to do that?
Absolutely. So it says, again, page 133, today was not my finest day, but I am finding my footing, and I turn now to my own words to find comfort and a better sense of self. So for me, it was a perfect kind of description of how I was feeling today. So again, another great example of that mirror and being able to perfectly show you kind of where you might need a little extra love.
Oh, wonderful. So,
Definitely.
so let's show our friends. Let's take the next step and let's release. So let's use the book as a jumping off platform to actually do some TRT and do some tapping and release and actually soothe that feeling of like something was off today. Mm-hmm. So would you like to give this a little start, Amanda? Would you like to maybe pick a word?
Sure.
Or theme?
Let's go with the first part. So today was not my finest day.
Okay. So we're going to invite everybody to tap along with us. Let's tap together.
Let's tap together. Most definitely.
Let's tap together. Okay. Danny?
Oh, I was waiting for Amanda.
I think we're waiting for you. And everybody just join in and say the words with us.
Okay. Even though today was not my finest day.
Today was not my finest day.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though today was not my finest day.
Even though today was not my finest day.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though today was not my finest day.
Even though today was not my finest day.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Yeah. I release myself from this not such a fine day.
I release myself from this not such a fine day.
I release myself from this day of not feeling so great.
And I release myself from this day of not feeling so great.
I release myself from this not my finest day.
I now release myself from this not my finest day.
I release myself from feeling not so fine today.
I release myself from feeling not so fine today.
I release myself.
I now release myself
from this day that was not my finest.
From this day that was not my finest.
I release myself.
I now release myself
from all these feelings.
From all these feelings
that are not my finest.
That are not my finest.
I release myself.
I now release myself
from all these feelings.
From all these feelings
that make me feel not my finest.
Not my finest.
I'm finding my footing.
I'm finding my footing.
I'm turning to my own words.
I'm turning to my own words.
And I can feel okay in that.
And I can feel okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a nice big breath, everyone.
Always love Amanda's tell.
So some of you may have noticed that as we're doing the tapping, you actually start yawning. You might feel like you're suddenly relaxed. And that's actually a normal part of a release. Amanda and I both yawn during releases. So we know we've got a good one, we've got a good yawn.
Yeah, we see the yawn. We know that, okay, there you go. Yeah. That one's kind of gone. It went out of the way.
Tapping has, like TRT has an immediate result on the body. As soon as you start tapping, because your attention is directed to the tapping, you're actually pulling your focus away from anything that is in that moment troubling you and rearranging your focus back to yourself. So then your body can begin to relax and focus on that that intention that you're setting up, the words you're setting up. So it's a really great practice to do all the time in the moment. And one of the things we love is that when you use it in conjunction with driver's seat, it just becomes a fun experience. And in fact, and I'm sure you've come across this, Amanda, driver's seat, when you in there, it's all tucked in there, has the instructions for tapping are in there. Mm-hmm. They're safely tucked in there.
Yes.
And for anybody who wants to use them, once you come across them, and sometimes driver's seat will literally inspire you to tap, and there's releases in there that are very powerful. So I'm just giving a little thing in there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we have a few people watching here tonight, so maybe if we could get you to send off a quick comment of just give us a page number, and we'll do a reading from the book for you.
And actually, all three of us have a book. Dave, you want to hold up your book? And Amanda has a book. So, in fact, you can ask any one of us to read from any page. And in fact, we'd like to try something new. We're in the process of putting together a wonderful new idea. It's called Driver's Seat Theater. And what it's going to be is it's going to actually be, and again, we're putting things together, but it's going to be where we have people such as ourselves. And, well, I don't want to give it all away. Do you want to maybe share it?
Basically, it's this. We're going to set up driver's seat theater. We're going to have it at different venues. And as people come in, we're going to ask them to pick a page between 1 and 262. And just write the number on a piece of paper. As that comes in, and it goes up to the front for the time for the show to begin. And we're going to read, just each person step forward, select a number, read from that page, and then maybe intuitively or have their own guidance that they can input on top of that, and then the next person step forward, do the same thing. The idea is as we've been experimenting with this and finding how it's going, a whole new story evolves. It actually starts telling a story of the people in the audience that are actually there to see this. So this is really cool. So we're looking forward to getting this off the ground and getting out there and doing driver's seat theater for people, because we think this is going to be just remarkable.
Yeah. And it's going to be live and interactive. We're going to be getting people to join in with us. Definitely. So actually, why don't we give it a little test run here with our friend Amanda. Amanda, would you like to join us?
Yes.
So we'll have all three of our books, and we'll wait for anybody who chimes in with a page number. Oh, hello, everybody. Oh, hello.
So a few of them there. Hi, guys. Nice to see you on tonight.
There you go. So what we're going to do is we're going to start just by reading the book. Amanda, would you like to start us off and open up the book to whatever page?
All
Hello,
right.
Charlene. To whatever page you want to start, and then do the next, and then I'll go after that.
Awesome. Okay. Good stuff. So, who's got a page number here for us?
No, well, actually, I think we just start with Amanda.
Oh, okay.
You'll start, and then you go, and then as they come in, then we can say them.
Ooh, I got it. Okay.
Could you click it so we can see our friends there? We're on this.
Where am I looking at here? Oh, sorry. Oh. No, there's nobody up there. There's no.
Okay. That's fine. Sorry, guys. All right.
It's working out technical stuff all the time, so we're doing really good.
Right there, honey.
There
you go.
I'll get the right one.
All right. All right. There we go. Okay.
Okay. So let's see. The story
so Amanda's gonna start. Danny, you go next. I'll go next. And when we see our friends, so if you could open that up so we can see when they come in.
Certainly.
Okay. Great. So when our friends chime in, we'll read the page number. Perfect,
Yeah,
Vanessa.
hold on. Yeah, Vanessa says page 111.
So let's start with Amanda.
Yeah.
Then you, then me, and we'll read Vanessa. Okay? And let's go. Let's give it a shot.
So I opened to page 39. So it says, "Let your life lead the way and guide you. We all exist in an infinite moment of now. Whether you are thinking about the past or envisioning a possible future, you are doing it now, and you've only ever experienced the now."
Cool. I'm on 60. At times, it may seem in life that there are countless programs running in the background, and you are helpless to them. But let us assure you, you are not helpless. You are everything, expressing itself as something. You are the writer of this story.
You are always and in every way changing and expanding and becoming more. And so your natural skin, your emotional skin, your physical skin, and your etheric, energetic skin all must grow and become more. There is nothing to worry about. There is no wrong way to do this. There will never be, for this is as it is, and you can feel that. Doubt will lead you. Doubt will not lead you to us. And you're doubting, you will feel the distance grow. So let that go now, as though it too is a skin you must shed. And note that as you let these things go, as you grow and flow, life will and must do the same. And will as a reflection of what is within. So within, so without.
Amanda?
No, one Vesa. Page one.
We started at that, didn't we?
No, we didn't, darling.
Oh, I thought we started at 111.
No, sweetheart.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can you please just open the comments so you can see? Thank you. And we can see Vanessa's. There we go. There, now we can. There, now.
I thought that's where Amanda started. My apologies. Oh. Am I reading?
Please read.
Oh, okay. If you are reading this manuscript from beginning to end, then what I'm about to say may seem a little out of place for you. However, there is a strong possibility that by now you are also beginning to feel the actual sensation of moving within time. And so, you may find these minor shifts in conscious perspective understandable and highly relatable. With each moment, time has less relevance. It has become a mere tool, a tracking point where one can anchor oneself to a place and a time. Beautiful.
That was wonderful. That was fun. So we can see it's an ongoing story that can keep going as many ways, as many places as you can go. There was more things we could have read on that page. The funny thing is that the story changes depending on how we feel in that moment. So because we were feeling that little bit of confusion, there was different parts in the page that the eyes could have fallen, but it fell where it fell, and the story felt the way it felt because at that moment it was expressing our emotions. So as we're playing this game, if we start to see irregularities in the story, then we can understand that energetically speaking, we're actually irregular. That means the three people who are reading it in that moment are not synchronizing, and they're kind of bouncing off of each other. Now, the thing with this kind of theater is that it has to go longer. So the longer we play and the more people we have involved, the more synchronization will happen as we keep reading and reading and reading. And so as more people participate, then we begin to get a fuller story.
Like
so,
the metronome.
Like the metronomes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So the book is a catalyst. Now the whole thing that we didn't really explore very much in this time here, because we're just playing it for the first time and we're doing a couple different things all at once, is we didn't explore the channeling that we all naturally innately do that is actually inspired as a result of reading this book. So one of the things that can happen potentially as you use this book is that it can actually open you up to tap into your own divine nature, your own ability to connect with yourself in real time. And when that begins to happen, you begin to pull that infinite intelligence that's available all around us, that's part of us, that is us, into your active focus. So you can then start saying it and feeling it and speaking it. And the fun part of the book, of the theater, will be when we get so comfortable with the reading that we begin to fill in the spaces with the active live words coming through.
Definitely.
And that's going to make it much more dynamic as well.
So be almost like a giant improvisational show that we're going to put on. So it'd be wonderful.
But we have that wonderful framework of driver's seat to bounce off of. So again, it's an idea in live action. You guys get to see it here with us here. Amanda, thank you very much for playing with us.
Oh, thank you, Amanda. Yes.
That was really fun.
Amanda Hawley of Pixie Whisp Jewelry there. We thank you so much for being on with us tonight. It was great. We want to thank you so much for sharing your experience with Driver's Seat with us also.
Absolutely. And before we go, I wanted to share with you all, Amanda makes beautiful jewelry, handmade and custom jewelry. This is a beautiful piece that she's made for me. You can see I really, really enjoy wearing it. It's a wraparound, so it can be worn in many different ways, which is so lovely. And I'm also wearing these beautiful custom-made earrings. I hope you can see them there. And Amanda not only made them by hand, but she went out and she specifically found the crystal for me. I mean, it's moldavite, so it's a very rare and special crystal. And she went out and she made it with love and intention. And she literally channeled this jewelry through it. Because it's perfection. So I want everybody to know what a beautiful job she does. She makes intuitive custom jewelry, and we're very proud of the work she does.
So Amanda, how can people, if they want to get some Pixie Wisp jewelry, how do they get a hold of you? How do they reach out to you?
So you can find me on Facebook if you just search Pixie Wisp.
So Pixie Wisp, okay.
Yep, just on Facebook.
Just like it's spelled here below. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. And Amanda's out of Cambridge, Ontario.
Yes.
So a lot of fine people down in Cambridge, Ontario.
A lot of really nice people in Cambridge. We love
that
people
town.
In Cambridge.
We love that town. Produce so many wonderful people.
Yeah.
Right? I can imagine right now, I can just see probably Charlene's going to shout it. That sounds good. Yeah.
There you go.
Hi, Charlene.
And actually, we have a couple more pages here. Charlene has asked for page 34.
Vanessa says, "I love my book." That's incredible. We're up on it.
That's well. One more. Why don't we end?
Okay, we'll do one more 32. Do one more for Charlene. Charlene's saying page 34 for her. So
wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to open it up. Believe me when I tell you this. No one can fully know where this is all going. But I can tell you one thing for certain. I know it's going to be an amazing ride. So hold on tight and take a trip with me in time.
Beautiful.
So,
and as always.
It really is. We love you. And it really is. It really is a trip in time.
Yeah. So just a few announcements to get out of the way here before we're done here tonight. So we have a new ACES video coming out. Oh, yes. It's going to be clean, crisp, clear, and down to about in between 5 and 10 minute mark.
Right, but it'll give you the opportunity to go through to visit your ACES one by one. And so you'll for anybody who hasn't done the ACES study, like the ACES questions with us yet, it's a brilliant opportunity to go online to see exactly where you stand, where your ACES score is. We encourage everybody to go and check it out.
Most definitely. It's key to building a trauma-informed community. It is key to building a trauma-informed community where we no longer look at people and say, "What is wrong with you?" We say, "What happened to you, my friend?" And we start looking at things like that.
That's right. So it's a great platform to start from. Once you do the questions, please get in touch with us. We're going to help you to unlock and release the pain that was initially caused there. So the first part is you have to know. And then the second part is to release and do something about it. And that's what we're here for.
Most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. So we want to thank you once again, Amanda, for being our guest tonight.
Thank you.
It was absolutely wonderful having you. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Yes. And thank you so much to all the wonderful friends, all our wonderful friends for coming out.
For joining us tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you would like to have your own signed copy of Driver's Seat that you can take with you, just get in touch with us. You can email us at GiveUpPain@gmail.com. You can get in touch with us through Facebook, and I'd be more than happy. Each copy is individually signed for the person that's for. This one's mine, and then specially wrapped and sent out to you.
Very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for your time and sharing your time with us this evening.
Yes, and, thank you so much for coming out.
Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda.
Bye.
Bye.